strong, stable hero that just it solidifies your opening, and then you get to see 2 heroes, then you get to see 3 heroes, and you're putting yourself in a good position of getting through the draft. Like, sure, you're not going to have the final response in the final 2 pick orders, but at least you're not going to like outplay yourself. Where I think before we saw like double support thing at the very start of the match, and that revealed your hand way too quickly.
Void Spirit's win rate at this tournament is pretty exceptional, I believe. Just going off my memory, he's 7-0, but he might have lost on some games on the other streams.
Yeah, 9 matches, 78% win rate.
Okay, so he's 7-2, so he lost in the other 2 that I didn't see. Okay, but yeah, very successful hero so far. The damage buffs are noticeable, and I think a great hero against Lina. So what Lina doesn't like, no matter what role she's playing, whether it's 4, 2, which are her primary roles, she doesn't like heroes that come up nice and close and burst really fast, and that's what Void Spirit does right now. So.
But if it is like a lean and mid against Void Spirit, at least like the lane's okay.
The lane's fine.
And then you lean on itemization. But we just saw in the previous game, when the game gets way too out of your pace, for sure, Void Spirit will just be able to run over Lina.
And the Void Spirit doesn't have to go mid.
Yeah,
he can be 4, he can be 3. He can even be, this is digging a little bit into something Secret played a while back. They played Matumba Man on Void Spirit a couple of times in the safe lane, so not even out of the question, especially with damage buffs. Who knows, maybe you can play Void Spirit as a true carry now with Deso, which is what used to be popular for a while. He hurts.
Radiant team
we'll see. I don't know if that's it's not really a K1 hero though. Like it would really not stand out as a hero that he would play to me, but that doesn't mean they can't you're gonna always go Battle Fury. He's melee, right? So
yep.
Just do that.
K1 is more of a hard carry type of carry. That's why the Naga and the PL, for example, are banned out against them. And we got the Lycan versus the Sven. Now we did see Sven earlier, and Sven was actually really strong, but I think he was in the same team as the Lycan. Or there was not even a Lycan there.
The game was
that was the first SG against Liquid. There was a Sven versus Lycan. That's the one I remember. Yeah.
And we also had the Tundra series just now, where Skitter played Sven together with Pango in the safe lane. Yeah. But they were not against Lycan in that game. It was just.
And they had Beastcoast.
So yeah, Sven definitely a good solution against Lycan based on what we've seen so far. And they're also going to grab the Omni, so doubling down on making the Sven really strong, getting that natural buff up with the Heavenly Grace. And also, so in the past, Lycan has been able to solve Omni Knight relatively effectively with Necronomicon, but since that's removed, you can't dispel Guardian Angel as Lycan, so that kind of sucks. Like, you don't have the same options. You could take the Purge creep.
Or some like Nullifier play, but...
Yeah, or get Nullifier, but that's just way more expensive and less value
than having the current items you want to buy, right? It's... Yeah.
But you could technically, with your Helm of the Dominator early, you could find a Satyr Purge creep and maybe play around that a little bit. But no matter how you look at it, it's just not what it used to be in this matchup. So I think Omni Knight very solid against Lycan. And they're going to try to get their own Omni Knight. There's some really sick steals here. Fissure. All of Omni Knight spells are amazing steals for Rubik.
Some of Sven's as well.
The main thing,
Sven's done.
Yep.
Like the main thing here for Liquid though is like they picked this Lycan forcing a Sven response, but it's not as if Beastcoast has like that Kotl X factor to also push out lanes. Like Sven wants to go from lane into the jungle. Void Spirit wants to find kills, so there's no one really dealing with the lanes right now, which will amplify that Helm of the Overlord timing when they just run them down. As long as they don't like go out of position and walk into that Echo Slam, walk into that Sven fight, like Liquid should be able to play a pretty okay Lycan game.
They can definitely get their farm, but Beastcoast, they proved to us yesterday that they could solve the Lycan.
That's true.
This morning,
This morning, yeah.
I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago.
It's been a long day.
It was the second series of the day. Yeah, they did have, at that point, they had the Kotl and the Earthshaker against the Lycan.
Oh yeah, I'm mixing it up with another game yesterday. I was mixing it up with the game that Liquid lost yesterday.
The SG game, yeah.
That was SG. Yeah, SG also
South American DOTA, right?
Yeah, but they also played Sven and Omni, right? SG. That's why I'm confusing it, because they had these two heroes as well. And then instead of the Shaker, they had Pango.
Yeah, the difference in that game is they had multiple ways of cushioning the early aggression. And right now, like Liquid, they got 3 massive skirmishing heroes, Lina, Rubik, Tiny, who can then invade the jungle early on to prevent Sven cleanly farming stacks, whilst you have Lycan plus that additional core. So I think Beastcoast, they do have the answers to a Lycan, but it's not as like face value strong as what SG was presenting.
Yeah, they also had the Timber in addition. So I do want to mention, by the way, Rubik got an insane buff this patch. I think this talent might eventually end up getting nerfed or get moved. Rubik has a level 15 talent now that gives 25% CDR on all stolen spells. So if you steal Fissure in this game, you have it way more frequently. It's basically, think about why you buy Octarine Core on heroes. Rubik just gets that component, the cooldown reduction component, for free on level 15 on the stolen spells, and then you have the Aetherland. So you're going to steal Fissure, and it's going to be like if you had an Octarine on Shaker. So very powerful talent. We'll see if it stays in its current form. 25% sounds a bit crazy to me.
Yeah,
maybe it could be 15, or it could be a level 20 talent with 25%.
I also assume that applies, like, for example, if you go like super late game and you get like the spell prism stuff, it's not.
It does not stack.
I was gonna assume it.
Percentage-based CDR does not stack anymore. So you only, but it still feel good, right? It means if you wanted an Octarine before, now you just buy something else. You're like, oh,
exactly.
Obviously, you don't get the
supports don't really buy that anyway. So
right, Rubik's one of the heroes that could though, because he wants lens regardless. But it's obviously only on the stolen spells. If you were to go Octarine, you would have lower cooldown on your other spells. But come on now, Rubik is about the stolen spell.
Yeah, don't
right?
worry. This is the busted concept for sure.
And there are so many good spells here, right? I'm just thinking, you know, the big spell steals here: Fissure, Stormhammer, Heavenly Grace. All of these with 25% CDR when you're level 15 can make a huge impact in this fight, or in these kind of fights in this game. So. Very interested to see if we. I mean, obviously, I would be surprised if Tiger doesn't get there. Then they're getting stomped. But to see the impact of this talent in this game.
Like right now, the real question is like, is the Shaker the 4 or the 3? And what is kind of like your additional wave clearing hero? Like
right.
Pangolier comes to mind, but then it's like, yeah, Pango offlane, Earthshaker 4. You actually have a hero that can move around and take these early fights, because I think protecting your jungle through killing the heroes, not actually taking the stacks, is what Beastcoast kind of needs right now.
I think they might be a little bit concerned with the fact they have 4 melee heroes. So if they grab either Pango or Timber, they're exposing themselves to heroes that are very good against melee heavy lineups.
Timber
like
is banned as well.
Yeah, Timber is banned from first phase by Liquid. They learned that. I'm guessing they did that as a lead-in to get the Lycan eventually, based on their experience from yesterday. But maybe Beastcoast are leaning in a ranged direction. I'm trying to think of ranged heroes that like to play with Omni, just so he doesn't only babysit the Sven. But maybe that is just what they will grab.
I mean, this is. We talked yesterday about how Coddle somewhat resembled Tinker. What better? Coddle banned. Replacement Coddle and Tinker. No.
So if it is an offlane Tinker, then it's like the whole idea is March is now not there, right?
5 seconds remaining.
It is going to be a more like kill-hungry style of Tinker, where when Liquid tries to come for the fight, rocket spam's coming in, they're going to be quite low HP instantly. So I like the idea of it, but it's
in theory also. It can be annoying for Lycan, right? The way you have to micro against the AoE laser.
That's true.
I think the blind is not AoE, but the damage is, if I'm correct about that. So still only blinding one singular target. The other thing is, how much status resistance is this Sven gonna have? Like he's gonna get Heavenly Grace and Defense Matrix. I actually don't know how these stack. If they stack additively, he has 100% status resist or something like that. How much is Defense Matrix now? Is it 40 or something? He's gonna be close to uncontrollable basically while this is on. And this phase closing pick, or rather draft closing pick from Liquid, is going to be the Visage for Koikva. So they have Visage as well as Lycan doubling down on this Zoo strategy.
It gives them the vision though to be able to find this Tinker.
It puts them on a serious timer though. This lineup does not scale against Sven. So I'm a little bit worried for Liquid that they are putting themselves in a position here where they actually just need to dominate. And well, they did a good job in one of their games yesterday in playing fast when they had the tiny strategy and they found a lot of kills. Got to do it again.
But this is like after the interview yesterday, like Incendio was like, yeah, we should have won that game. Like we made some mistakes, and they've clearly done exactly the same strategy, refining it a little bit. And I'm a little bit skeptical about what the Tinker can do against a lot of Zoo. You know, I mean, he's very good at just killing heroes and chipping slowly. But when there's overwhelming like things at you, is this new style of Tinker as good as against that? So
we'll see. Indeed, we did not see a lot of Tinkers these days. I believe this is the first one of the tournament as well. So let's find out how it's going to play out and who will take first game series. We're finding out together.
All of this, you know. All of it.
Boy, oh boy. And I remember when Whisper was playing the offlane Tinker before anything even changed. It was like him and Brax over on the Americas. And now it's actually, you know, possibly meta. What do you think, Kyle?
I haven't been in America for some time, so I'll be honest, I haven't had any experience whatsoever with pre or post patch offlane Tinker. I will say,
watch it?
I'm disappointed because the cosmetics for Whisper are just not there. Same with Stinger, and that leads me to believe that Liquid may have a bit of an edge in this game. You say he's an expert. It's a pocket pick. Where are the cosmetics then, Moxie?
Well, when you play so well that you prove it in game, do you really need the cosmetics? Look, he has himself some cosmetics here. He's got the ones that count.
Those don't count anymore because you don't buy Boots of Travel. they should be replaced and refunded.
But they look very nice.
Wait, is that really an immortal? What even is that? That little, that grate and the goggles?
Yeah, the headpiece.
Glow? Where's the glow? Should have at least laser eyes.
Why does he need laser eyes? Just because he shoots lasers, he's got to have laser eyes?
Wanna
Wouldn't
play
that just
with
be
fire?
just way too many lasers?
More.
What a surprise!
All right, JJ, you're getting over this is too much. I'm getting dizzy. And I pretty much agree with everything Sin said, which I find myself doing more often, but we'll discuss that later. Liquid on timer, a lot of zoo. Beastcoast pretty well equipped to deal with that. I'm actually going to kind of look at the support duo for Liquid, specifically Insania. There's so many things to steal. And I don't believe there's 2 immortals equipped. Those are... I need some laser eyes.
We need glasses. I know Teal needs
It was
glasses
your
as
own
well.
damn fault. It was your own damn
When's the last time you
fault.
had an eye exam, Kyle?
Actually, 4 or 5 months ago.
Really?
Well, yeah, because actually, no, it was more recently 2 months, because there was a chance I was going to have to drive a car.
Okay.
And I got told, like, when I was 20 or 21, that I probably shouldn't drive a car if I didn't have glasses.
You sure it was because the glasses?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you trying to imply?
Nothing, absolutely
I'm an incredible driver, FYI. No accidents so far. Although I was in one. The best part, you know, people who are bad drivers always say that they're great.
magic.
My cousin
I
has
have
totaled 3
laser
cars,
beams.
and he swears that he's still a better driver than I am.
Oh, it's always the other person's fault? Is that it?
Because he's more aggressive as a driver. Perhaps too aggressive.
Much like some of these Dota players that say, it's my team's fault, you know? Yeah. I see it.
But this will be fun. Both these squads, some question marks. Beastcoast, of course, going to TI. Liquid, unfortunately, not. But
30
it
seconds
is,
to
I
battle.
think the one I was looking forward to. You know, they both have unique play styles. Liquid demonstrating theirs already, like needs no explanation. They're rocking the zoo, and Beastcoast, the offlane Tinker. They have this cool Omni Sven combo, and then once again, it'll be Schofield on the Earthshaker. Really enjoyed watching him play this against PSG LGD, and something I'll probably start spamming again because I just think Shaker, when it's meta, feels great, but definitely one of the higher skill
The
cap
battle
heroes. You can win or
begins.
lose games just based on, I guess, where you're standing when you hit the R button. And K1 not able to swipe the bounty rune. Nice stun by Taiga.
Yep, just off to a very basic start here. No first blood just yet, but definitely, you know, high potential, depending on which lane that you're looking at.
The mid matchup's the one to watch, I think. You know, end of the day, Visage did get a couple of slight tweaks, you know, buff to the Soul Assumption and the Grave Chill, but you're really not the greatest laner. You can even see 51 base damage, Void Spirit, 61 plus a Quelling Blade, so it's very difficult to last, and you can already see him missing out on the Archer. And these first few waves are going to be tough, but once you get birds up, it does get a lot easier for you.
I will say I think that the bottom lane has a lot of annoying potential here because Taiga, of course, playing that Lina, very difficult to have to deal with if you are both melee here.
Definitely, but the thing is, unlike heroes like Magnus, it's nice chop. Boxy can't really help too much. The Wolves will attack, but end of the day, you don't really assist your Lina all that well.
Well, no, you're not supposed to. It's just to get that harass going, to make it so it's just very tilting to have to, you know, constantly be clicked. Top lane, though, Insania is taking a decent chunk of damage.
I'm not sure how this lane will play out. I've really just not experienced offlane Tinker. It is completely absent from the EU games that I've witnessed and played myself. I think I've played like 500 games of Dota over the last month or two. I've never seen an offlane Tinker.
Well, I think you're probably going to if this starts to take off, and as I believe it probably will. Because again, Insania taking a lot of damage. Schofield just doing Schofield things, though, just trying to be annoying. You end up breaking some of those trees, and now he is forced away, sitting very low, but it's going to be Insania who draws the first blood.
Really nice job. Nice pump back into the tower. K1 looks to do some runs. I don't really expect many kills to happen in this initial laning phase. The rotations look well. Mid is the matchup, though, that is already looking problematic. You can see Chris Luck, bottle advantage, 11-7 against the 6-2 of Koifa, and it's a struggle, especially if you look at him. You know, Koifa, he's rushing HOD. He's not buying a bottle. He's not trying to grab any extra regen, even getting the crown pre-helm just to help with the last hitting. So, yeah, they're going to double it up. That's, man, Liquid, you know, they commit, they commit. This is an all-in zoo, and they are rolling the dice hoping that Jumanji can begin ASAP. Still surprised they've yet to make a sequel out of it, but I suppose with no Robin Williams, that's going to be tough.
They did make a sequel, but it's the new one.
What do you... Oh, you're right, they did.
Yes, they did.
I watched that movie on a flight. That was pretty good.
It's definitely the right place to watch it, too.
Yes. It's funny how your standards are so much lower when you're trapped on a plane.
It's all about just being entertained for those couple hours. But, yeah, you know, it is an all-in strategy, though, which can be a little scary when you consider the fact that if they get enough time, if they make enough space here for Ector, Liquid is going to be struggling very, very hard.
Definitely. Especially with an Omni behind him. You can already see just the spam Heavenly Grace. This will continue throughout the game, and Liquid, they don't have too much lockdown. Sven just clear through the whole damn team with given enough items. Taiga's pretty on point so far, 7 for 7 on the stuns. But unfortunately, you know, you can see Boxy's still a little behind in the CS just because until the HOD is online, you're not that strong, but he is going to be okay. And once you grab it, I actually think you may be able to press this combination out of lane. Omni Sven, you're durable, but if you deal with some kind of mana burn creep or the Satyr, like you just get spammed and probably going to be forced to jungle, where Schofield already making stacks.
I think that's always been kind of their plan, though, as well, because by the time that he's going to have this online and they're really starting to move, usually Ector wants to just either, well, a lot of the times Beastcoast will make them rotate to a different lane, or Ector just leaves. He's like, I got stacks to hit, I got creeps to hit, I don't want to be a part of this for now, just leave me out of it. And, you know, Schofield and Chris Luck will start to get very aggressive, so I'm not sure if they're horribly concerned about the Helm of the Dominator during, you know, the actual lane itself. But top lane, have a little bit of a toss-up here on Whisper, lots of burst damage, and they take advantage of the fact that Schofield was, of course, off and just trying to get some of these stacks up.
That was kind of uncharacteristic of Whisper, just getting caught in no man's land.
Win together, slay together, slay together, slay together.
Thought Taiga might have a little bit more there to dish out on Stinger, but just going to continue to harass K1.
Mid lane, Koifa, 18-7, actually recovered pretty well. I thought he was going to fall significantly behind. The extra levels do certainly help, though. Rage, very effective and definitely kind of guarantees last hitting, as you can see him just spam clicking Chris Luck. But I neglected how effective that Gravekeeper's cloak was. It's super sick. It's deceptively a tanky hero, especially against things without sources that'll remove layers. Like I love playing Leshrac against Visage because you ignore most of them and remove them within a couple of seconds.
Couple hits coming out. Zania just gonna walk away here. They're not too concerned, just getting harassed a bit by Whisper.
Slow down a bit though. Another great stun from Taiga. I like how Boxy just kind of ignores the Sven. He's just like, I want last hits. This is a waste of my time. Taiga, help.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the bottom lane is just a series of stuns being tossed back and forth. Stormhammer coming from K1, Taiga throwing out LSAs, but really, you know, no one fully committing for the most part. Everybody's just content to like let the supports duke it out. And Chris Luck, though, just have to be a little careful. Those are the Astral Steps available if he needs to make a quick getaway. But again, in the top lane, and Zania finds the kill on Whisper.
Yeah, that's the second time. I mean, Schofield, he's not out of position. He's doing his job. He's stacking. Look at that, double ancients, and is that a quad or a tripled hard camp? Like, that's what he's supposed to do. Whisper just has to not die in those few seconds where his shaker is not behind him. That's twice in a row he goes down. You don't want to feed a tiny safe lane kills either, because that just accelerates the blink timing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Insania is the one who appears to be getting most of these kills, but again, every time he shows up like this, very dangerous. Does have himself a bottle, does have that soul ring for trying to spam, but this is what's going to happen if he's not careful. If he doesn't have Sco with him, he is just going to be burst down consistently. So they need to figure out another game plan here for Sco, or figure out, you know, where do we, is it the situation where everything is focused on making sure Ector has a safe life?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it looks that way. I mean, actually, now I realize that they're kind of dumb, but the status resist stacking from Heaven and Grace and Defense Matrix is really cute. Like, maybe that'll give Nick. Who cares if Whisper's feeding, right? His job's just going to be to buff up the Sven, have him run forwards. But the trouble with offlaners like this, same goes for any of these more squishy ranged heroes, you know, Leshrac, Pug, now Tinker. If you feed a couple times against a hero like Tiny, you're now in a point where you actually have nowhere to go. You have no farming capability. So Mickey's going to hit level 7, and suddenly you're level 4. You're just stuck under tower. And if the lane pushes back up, you just leave the lane. But to do what, right? Are you going to go gank middle? That's going to be difficult against a Visage with HOD and 300 gold.
Mickey doing a little bit of scouting here for himself. He's gonna run into Schofield, sees some very nice stacks, which seems like he probably wants to try to challenge here. Does have Insania Chryslok though nearby. Was hoping he could pick up the root. He's unfortunately not going to find it, but he does avoid getting ganked by the squad over here. Nice fissure here from Sko, and to slow down Liquid from heading over to this area. But they might want to protect these because Insania's already taking the stacks here with Mickey. They're just going to eradicate them.
Really nice job. This is a great invade, and there's the danger again. Tinker, he would love to help out, but he's like, oh, thank God, I have some space. I'll just take top and try and recover a little bit. Really nice job by Liquid. This is the benefit of a hero like Visage, who's, even without HOD, strongest hero on map, just because birds are now online. And he's actually owning. I mean, Chryslok fell off. I did not expect this lane to go so poorly, but it's partially the items. I've seen Void Spirits typically go at least double null. He's just rushing BOTs. A lot of ground boots and a lot of gold save. Another death on Whisper. I do not agree with this from Chryslok. Like, this is the opposite of being strong to fight the zoo. You got to build the wall. And instead, he made a gate. The drawbridge. What, you know, he left it down or whatever.
I don't know where you're going with this, but yes, it does seem kind of interesting that he opted to be on the other side of the map when he does have plenty of stacks over in his own jungle, and he does have safety and vision over there.
This is tough. It's Hector versus the world. He just died. Chryslok legitimately will have... It's the global mentality, I guess. They're going to have King Conveyance, so maybe the plan is just defend towers and abuse map movement, but Liquid, they're going to group up and run at you with a creep army. And I just don't know if Beastcoast have the right read on this.
Sko is going to go drop down the fissure. He is stunned though completely, just locked into place, so they'll be able to get that kill. And yes, like we said, Insania with fissure is going to be very, very scary.
Maybe not that fissure specifically, but future ones.
Yes. It's an investment into the future.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That's going to be the tier 1 bottom. I've watched the Jenkins guide. That is the first one to take.
Radiant's bottom
will then
tower
help them
is under
open up
attack.
the map and look towards mid. As Cliff also has his HOD, and Mickey, super farm, just going to start running into enemy jungle.
Dire's top tower is under
Lots of
attack.
pressure being placed over towards this mid tower. Chryslok is going to try to poke away, try to clear up that creep wave. They do have a Cardi over here, so definitely want to ensure that that is not allowed to hit their tower. Boxy, though, has taken over the Radiant jungle over on the side, and it's just Stinger and Chryslok to be a bit careful. They're trying to make pincering movements. Sko is here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Doesn't seem interested in just starting off the fight just yet. But while this is happening, do have Hector over here. He's going to continue to do some farming. Shows up in the top lane, says hello to Mickey. And Mickey is got his Blink Dagger coming out, so that is very scary, especially for Whisper. This
Radiant's
tanker
middle tower is under attack.
Not the tankiest boy, as we've discussed.
Man, I love the lads in Liquid because they still remind me that Han and its influence is somewhat alive, because this is just straight out of the game that used to be. Blink Dagger Initiator and a whole bunch of creeps. You're ready to go fight and look to push. Expect a smoke to come out soon, and then a collapse onto structures, because right now, Liquid, you're feeling good. Both your supports are 6. You've got a ton of structure damage, and end of the day, K1 on this Sven, he will scale as they now smoke into his jungle.
And they know exactly where Hector wants to be, but as usual, Sko is the one who is most forward currently. He's going to try to click up on some of these birds, toss up into the air, though. They'll be able to take down Stinger, they take down Schofield, and Hector now is forced to run away.
Yep, nice movement from from Liquid just collapsing. Oh, and even a bounty rune to fill up the bottle of Mickey plus the regen top.
Radiant's middle tower is
Boxy
under
will
attack.
take bottom as they now push middle. Looks like middle actually died first. That'll be 2 structures for Liquid.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I mean, this is exactly how they have to play
Radiant's
their draft. You know, they
bottom
are
tower
on
is
a
under
timer,
attack.
so you want to see them making these aggressive moves and trying to take away any
Radiant's
sort of
bottom tower has
just
fallen.
advantage that Beastcoast can have with having that open here. As Sania gets blocked up here with Stinger, just going to go throw out a nice purification. Cryslock has to be careful. He's sitting pretty low. Going to try to go up to the high ground. Taiga keeping tabs on him. He's already used the Laguna Blade. Boxy running. So get a dunk in the top lane. Though. Looks like they're going to try to take out Sania. They'll be able to find that kill. As they're continuing to turn after Cryslock. He's just dodging around. He's got his dancing shoes on. Boxy trying with that centaur creep, but unfortunately not going to be able to close that gap.
Mickey is putting in work, though. I mean, this is the dream for an early blink Tiny because you're playing against a single core. So yeah, sure, Sven farm, but Whisper, Schofield, and Stinger all susceptible to being comboed down from near full to 0 now that level 10 has been acquired. And yeah, nice job by Cryslock, just kind of baiting, wasting some time, but map control is something that Beastcoast won't have for a little bit.
Taiga anticipating that they might try to make a play on him, but that fissure getting stolen. Schofield is not looking too healthy here as does fall.
Yeah, there. I love this from Liquid, just
Radiant's
constant
top tower
pressure.
is under
They're looking
attack.
to mid now. Mickey arrives.
Whisper now with the blink dagger. Now he'll be able to put himself into better positions, hopefully. Backdoor does need to be careful though. That stolen trigger is doing so much work. He's going to shoot back right. He has the dog strength, but he is just getting stunned up into place. Cryslock jumping onto the back line. Wants to get rid of Taiga. Needs to get another hit off though, as there is play on the back line to Stinger. Ends up falling to Mickey. Taiga eventually to fall. Koifa though with those birds. He's keeping an eye on everything. We'll get the stun off. You've got Schofield. You've got Whisper, Cryslock still nearby, and Sania is also there. Another fidget. These fidgets have been so valued. Plus that creep and the toss up into the air. Backdoor is down. And Whisper is not going to be able to get out of here.
Nice shot from Liquid. They extend that fight and continue to kite it out. The stolen fissure, very critical from Insania. Yes, it's only level 1. Schofield wisely just keeping it at that single point. But either way, you know, you're also fighting under Liquid's vision. Right? They had a ward up there the entire time. That is a near impossible fight. They do kill off a bird. Koifet used his resummon, so we'll be playing with the singular avian friend for just some time. Actually didn't use his resummon. He's going to be able to wait till level 12 and pop it up. I thought that had to have been a resummon, but it looks like one had been scouting pre-fight. Now they'll block the ancient, steal the bounty rune. And yeah, if you're Liquid, you'll take fights if you can get them, but you don't want to dive too deep.
He's trying to cheat play here, but Whisper also will just get blown up.
16-3, Liquid's like it was Stinger.
I mean, they're just moving around this map in perfect rotations right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Beastcoast, when you're playing the fly, you want to try to avoid the spider web.
I'm talking about Liquid. They're playing.
Radiant's top tower is fallen.
But Beastcoast are just what I mean to say is like
Dyer's
they're
middle
just kind
tower
of
is under attack.
They're playing in a very unsafe area of the map, Boxy.
That is true. That is true.
They're hiding under the ward, and Liquid, yes,
Dyer's
they're doing
middle
an excellent
tower is
job
under attack.
acquiring positioning in the enemy triangle, but you've got to kind of read the map a bit better if you're Beastcoast, or like this, set up a bait, look to make something happen here as Crystal
Dyer's
shoves middle.
structures are fortified.
Oh, wow.
Lane forward, and there's Koifa pinstring right around, and
Dyer's
this is
middle
looking
tower
like
is under
and
attack.
a nice tasty regen rune for anyone who would like to grab it up. Yeah, look at the depths in the top lane. My goodness.
Just control the triangle. End of the day, yes, K1, look, still top net worth, has the 1,000 gold lead. Sanjin should completed along with the Echo, but he has no space. There's really nowhere for him to be farming. Whisper's doing what he can to shove bottom, but Lizzo's doing a really cool job. They're scouting with birds, scouting with wolves, and now that's a Helm of the Overlord. 16 minutes in. Toss back.
Toss back here. K1 tries to run away. The Whispers here. They're able to blow up Taiga. Koifa now gets taunted right back in again. Hector looking for this opening, goes for the God Strength. He's looking for Koifa. He's going to be able to find out to be careful again of those birds. Mickey gets the toss up into the air, takes out Schofield. And now Hector is forced to run away here. As Mickey follows up, nice Storm Hammer, but Boxy, he's a fast wolf. He's just chasing after. We love to take a little bit of a nibble out of him if possible. And look at these creeps. They just get tossed into the air as Mickey gets the kill and should be able to get a second kill for Team Liquid. Stinger not having a great time here. They are diving past the tier 2s here in the mid lane. Liquid is playing their draft to a T right now.
Oh yeah, they're just too strong.
Radiant's middle
this
tower
golem
is under attack.
With the ulti popped, 250 damage, 2200 health.
Yeah,
everybody else becomes tankier.
Radiant's middle tower.
Which one is the tiny in this game, honestly?
Good point. They do look. You think they're cousins?
That's rude. Not all rock people are related, Kyle. Please.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All right, Kyle, you are the coach of Beastcoast right now. How do you stay in this game long enough so that Liquid doesn't run you over with the Zeus strat?
You could pause the game.
I don't believe that will work. Because eventually you do have to unpause.
Avail.
Well, I wouldn't continue playing this part of the map. It's very dangerous, especially with no God Strength.
Let's spend a little bit more time with that laser. Use the Heavenly Grace. Or sorry, not the Heavenly Grace, the DA. Still end up losing Stinger.
I mean, Liquid are just doing their job. They've still got solid vision, more even now placed by Insania. And they're just playing the triangle. And Beastcoast continue to pick fights. It's just a tough game. I don't want to take anything away from the BC boys, but I would again point to just, you know, the itemization perhaps leaves a bit to be edited. You know,
so what would you prefer to see for the itemization then?
Well, Chris has his Aghanims, right? The trouble is they're now so far behind, it feels like it won't help too much. There's a pipe on Koifa to effectively just neutralize the advantage this would have given you. And I just feel like he had to get involved earlier. You know, Whisper is dying top, but they don't have any mid player involved in the game to help alleviate that pressure. Yes, you're going to lose Insania, but you also have
right here, but they do run right in. Nice forward staff forward over onto Boxy. K1 already popping that God Strength. Needs to be careful here. The toss right back over to side where the LSA is. And they've got all the stun and damage, but of course does have a bit of status resistance, but he needs more health. He needs to be able to survive this, and he is most of their damage right now. Mickey just charging after him. Nice heal coming out. They'll toss out a tree. They'll toss over a friend as well, but not going to be able to quite finish off Hector.
Mickey has a dig on.
And Mickey found himself a Stinger to boot over on the back line. So they're going to be able to get Stinger. They're able to take down Taiga. Already taken down Whisper. There it is. There's a kill on Stinger. The buyback comes out though. Whisper, not happy that he's dead, wants to be a part of this. Teleport right on in, throw out some of these rockets.
Oh, they blink on Shaker. Gotta be careful, Liquid.
Skull waiting for that perfect angle here. There's quite a few. Right here, Mickey jumping forward, wants to take out Whisper. They get the stone. There's the Echo Flame coming out from Schofield, but you need damage to follow it up. It doesn't do enough here. This is a big creep over the silence, though. Looks like Chris Luck is going to be able to go take down Tiny once, take down Insania. As Schofield's running away from this creep. My God.
They did get the bird, though. And
toss up into the air on Stinger. Not quite enough damage, though, coming out from Koifa to take him out completely.
Yeah, Koifa ran out of mana in that fight. Otherwise, he would have been throwing out soul assumptions and instead just kind of was sitting there right-clicking for minimal damage.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Got pretty big window. Weird that chase, though. If they'd been able to finish off K1, they probably get that high ground a lot easier, but he did barely manage to escape. I was not sure where Boxy was running his creeps. He got distracted by something off to the top. May have been going after the Tinker, but Liquid, they are reluctant to leave the high ground. They still want this triangle. They know there's no God Strength. Chris Luck is a threat. He does have the Aghanims. It is a lot of burst damage if anyone's caught away from the Visage Aura. Now even a Veil on the Shaker just to try and increase the damage output.
I mean, with the way that Sko has been playing with this positioning, it definitely a very value item when you see these initiations, or rather counter initiations coming out from him.
Yeah, for sure. And BKB soon to be completed on this event. Poor Whisper, though. I just realized I was like looking for him in the network chart, and he's like, wait.
Well, we're not used to seeing Tinker so far below, right? Whisper realizing Taiga's hot on his heels. He's gonna have to blink a little
Dire's
bit
top
further
tower is
before
under
teleporting
attack.
on out.
When he does, well, he will have defense matrix points soon. He maxed out his QW for the damage output, but it'll be interesting to see how that status resist stacking functions
Dire's
when they're
top
able to
tower
double
is
buff
under
the Sven.
attack.
There's the fissure. Just taking a little peek over here on the side. Wants to see what's up. Scofield does have to be careful, as does Whisper, because he has gotten caught a couple times. I mean, my running joke that I used to have is like the teams that usually were able to beat Beastcoast when they were, really at their prime was always, if Hector can't hit, Hector can't win.
Radiant's bottom
Because it was
tower
always
is
like
under
something
attack.
like, Heaven Talbot or whatever, but with the status resistance that they are going to be able to just have here, it's pretty scary, again.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, it's a big lead for Liquid on paper, but you make it a good point. Sven's still 2,000 ahead of the map. He will carry at some point.
Just wanted to get rid of these pesky birds, but immediately, look at this, they try to back out. Schofield, that Dagon coming in.
Radiant
There's out a fissure.
structures
Just gonna try to walk away, but again, the stolen fissure coming out again from Insania. Just doing so much here as they just chase after Mickey. They really would like to take down this money. Are they going to get because yes, they are. They take him down and 10 times kill him. The time is now left. Oh my god, that's beautiful out of sight, but when you have a BKB, those stuns all of a sudden, they do not matter as much.
I can't help but feel like Echo Saber, rather than the Dagon, may end up actually being more burst for my Tiny. The bots as well are nice for the movement, TPing into creeps, but if Mickey, for lack, has just different items, like these are kills that he lands on these really squishy supports, but instead he'll trade his life for it. And as you said, the huge streak just went to the Sven, who is now becoming a big problem, and Liquid kind of lazily let this lead slip away, and this whole lineup, Sind was saying, it's on a big timing. You can see it activated, that slope, as they acquired a huge edge that got the Aegis, but they didn't really get much out of it. Now all of a sudden, Hector is level 18, maxed out God Strength prepared. He's very scary now.
And it's interesting because, like you said, he almost is able to take down Sko, and if Sko dies there, this is much different. He's not able to land all of these stuns.
Right, Taiga
Dire's
in
bottom
range.
tower is under
Got
attack.
fissured before the soul assumption that would have finished off the kill landed.
Oh, we have another fight breaking off. The taunt drawing right back in again. Insania is going to be the first to die. Koifa now here is not looking too healthy. Nice force step here coming out from Taiga, trying to keep him alive. But Hector, he's got his eyes on the fire, and that is one to Koifa. Laguna comes out. It's not enough.
It was your own.
Taiga next to fall.
I mean, we missed that initial beginning, but Koifa was, again, out of mana as they're playing on the enemy high ground. And you can just see, just from damage dealt, how unprepared Liquid were for that engagement. Boxy was bottom. He's 100 gold away from AC.
Scanning.
Talk about an impactful item against a Sven. That's probably top of the list. And all of a sudden, yeah, Beastcoast.
Boxy. Boxy walking right into Hector and Schofield. He's trying to find an open, trying to zig in Zap, but they land in a fissure. And he's just dead.
I thought Liquid were going to run away with it.
I mean, they looked fantastic early game, but they gave them a window over on the side of Beastcoast. And by God, they took it.
Well, I mean, Beastcoast, I don't want to take anything away from them. I was like, yeah, there's no way. This game's over. We're going new. It's 420. It's over. And then all of a sudden, they get that huge echo, defend their high ground, a couple of costly mistakes from Liquid, and suddenly it's like, well, this is the Sven show.
Oh, that's
I'd love to get this under a microscope.
He has grown his lead from 1,000 to 6,000 over the last 3 to 4 minutes. Yeah, the game's now even.
Dire's
Sven
middle
suddenly
tower
is the
is
strongest
under
hero on
attack.
map, and I am terrified if I'm a Liquid fan
Dire's
because,
structures
yeah,
are
like, wow.
See, the trick is you have to be a fan of both the teams, because then you win either way. But it's always tough to watch a team that you really enjoy having
Dire's
these issues
middle
and
tower
seeing things
is
slip
under
away from
attack.
them. Hector just freely hitting this tower, doesn't have a care in the world. He's got one little range creep here, he's gonna finish it off.
Has been
Get
killed.
a
Dire's middle
courier
tower
as well. I
has
don't believe
fallen.
Mickey had anything on it at the time, luckily. And now we've got the March Machines. It begins.
It certainly does. Aghanim soon to be completed as well.
How do you fight into this now if you are Liquid? Because your window, of course, like we said, it's closing.
Well, the whole idea was to stack auras and have this overwhelming amount of pressure, but like I look at these items on Mickey and
Is that basically, you know, obviously there have been a couple engagements that, Taiga.
Dire's courier
Find
has
themselves.
been killed.
Courier, it's just the dust. But now Taiga has to get the heck out of there as fast as possible.
Radiant's bottom tower has
and
been
luckily
denied.
is able to complete.
Just honestly, I mean, in different kind of game, I could understand it from
Dire's
McKay,
top
but you're
tower
going to
is under
definitely
attack.
have these aura stacking from
Dire's top
from your
tower has
Visage, from your
fallen.
Lycan. You know you're playing for a timing. Like, if there were a game for some kind of like, you know, Echo BKB, this would be it. And the bots is cute, but
Dire's
I
top
think
tower
that they
is under
perhaps thought
attack.
this game was easier than it turned out to be. Maybe underestimating the impact of the Sven. But like Vector is just enormous at this point. And they can walk down lanes because you just can't get through the Sven. Beastcoast's wall
Dire's
is
top
represented by
tower
this
is under
single
attack.
hero and
Dire's
his
top
greatsword.
tower has fallen.
And Liquid's lineup, no matter how many creeps you have, you just can't rock through him, and he has so much.
He's a big boy, that's for sure. Waltz is right on in, and you know, you picked up the day guy, you
Radiant's
gotta commit
bottom
to it, it
tower
seems,
is
right
under
now.
attack. Radiant
He's
structures are
upgraded it.
fortified.
Okay.
They are trying to make
Dire's
some pressure moves over here,
structures
but
are
again,
fortified.
it's a tinker now.
Yeah.
It was an off-lane tinker that, yeah, he was easy food early on, but now it is making your life much more difficult. Chrisluck being a little too greedy here, jumping right in, takes the Laguna Blade, and there's the stuns. We've seen this before.
Indeed. Nice Orchid from Koifa. No method of removal on Chrisluck, so
Yeah, no use.
Energy.
easy slay.
Dire are scanning.
Smoke up here coming out from the side of Liquid. They're combing through the jungle, seeing if they can find anyone. Hector, of course. You know, I like this. I like the fact that Stinger standing very closely to Hector, making sure that he's got saves available if necessary. Schofield also playing right around him. This is very
Radiant are scanning.
classic trademark Beast Coast, honestly, the way that, you know, Hector usually is their win condition.
And now Boxy just looking to split push bottom, set up for this upcoming Roche. They're already in the pit, so it's definitely dead. But it doesn't appear Beast Coast's mind. They're content to just defend their high
Dire's
ground.
top tower
I
is
mean,
under
Hector's just getting
attack.
bigger and bigger.
Roshan
Gonna go
has
down.
fallen to the dark.
Snap up his goodies. And again, it's tricky because how does this particular lineup on Liquid deal now with this tinker with the March machines? And then, of course, you know, a very
Dire's
very
top tower
farmed.
is under attack.
Oh yeah, and he also
Radiant's
picked
bottom
up the
tower
Titan
is under
Sliver, so
attack.
Oh my
just
word.
more and more status resist. Has the Quicksilver for now, I think, for faster farming, but they're actually just gonna contest the Aegis. Who gives a damn? Running forwards.
Hector does have to be careful. He does not have the rest of his team that close to him. And they do have some vision in the Dire jungle, so they know that they're not there. Sania dropping a couple wards, trying to keep vision. Skull rotating down, does
Radiant's
have those
bottom
spider
tower
legs.
is under attack.
Looking to set up in the tree line, figuring, yeah, they're probably going to come this way, right? Now the question is, never mind, it doesn't matter, he's already left the trees. Ooh, speed creep.
It's very difficult to predict the movements of these two teams. Some of the more surprising teams in Dota is, well, I suppose Hector not necessarily shocking us as he just continues to farm the map now with the full satanic buyback be damned.
There are some things that you can always trust in, and one of those things is that Hector, if there is farm on the map, he will go in search of it. Sometimes to his demise, but generally he will not let that away as they take down the creep over here, the overlorded creep.
Double damage.
Doesn't sound quite right, does it? Because like Helm of the dominated creep, but it's not really that anymore. What would you call it, Kyle?
I'm just a super dominator, double dominator.
Now everybody on Liquid has already tried to run away. One of these heat-seeking missiles will tap Taiga on the way out, but nothing he has to really be concerned about unless Chrisluck somehow manages to catch up with them with the double damage. But
Money to burn.
after diving the last time, I think he's learned his lesson.
I didn't like Chrisluck's lack of build-up, but I do like that he just went for a straight Shivas instead of, you know, maybe a post-Aghanim's Yules because of the aura. It's just so effective against lower attack speed. Visage Birds have a super high BAT, so items like Shivas that reduce attack speed are super effective. Same goes with a hero like Tiny. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, this is a pretty big deal right now. now, but look at the life steal. We're getting right back, using that Satanic. Thor, he wants someone. He thought himself insane. He's just gonna cut him right to the core. As the Whisper joining in, they've got the Shrink Ray over on Tiger. That's a tiny Lena, and that's also a very dead one.
They had no Mickey for that, or perhaps it could work. And this is the thing, you know, Mickey's their Aegis carrier, Moxie. He has BOTs. If you make this play
Dire's
with
courier
him,
has been killed.
that may be a kill. But
Dire's
otherwise,
bottom
if you
tower
don't
is under
100-0 this
attack.
Sven, he will tap Satanic BKB, do full health, and then chase you down.
Oh dear, this is not looking like a very healthy Boxy. He's a very tiny, undernourished Boxy.
Dire's
He
bottom
falls
tower
on his
is
creep.
under attack.
The double-dominated creep. I guess that works a little bit. I'm not sold on it yet. But look at this Hector's in
Dire's
the base.
bottom
He's
tower
hitting your
has
buildings. I think he's trying, but like, look at this guy. Look at the status resistance. Still got his Satanic up if he wants to go and pop it. Just choking away over here at these buildings. Getting the heals, the lift. No, he just doesn't care. He's just being allowed to do whatever he wants. He doesn't get tossed out of the base. Okay, get the heck out of here, he says. But they're fine with this. They're happy.
They're not really in a rush either.
No, they're not. And Hector, look at this. Look at all the status resistance on this man. My God. And just rockets flying everywhere. Looks like the 4th of July over here. They're going with the Guardian Angel to wipe out Taiga very quickly. And they're looking for whatever else they might be able to grab. Get a couple of these nice stuns off. Foxy is going to be respawning soon. Chris left is poking around, trying to be generally annoying as we start seeing all the heroes getting very tiny.
Yeah, you can see Tiny's
Dire's
attack
middle
speed, by the
tower
way.
is
That's
under
all just
attack.
Shivas. Like he actually can't hit. Part of that is the
No
optimization.
sorceries
He's got
avail.
Spellcaster build, but he just doesn't have right clicks anymore. It's a combo, a Dagon, and that's that. But unfortunately, K1 is just tanking all abilities. Talk back.
I mean, he's suffering from Steve, but he's got his own insurance policy with this
Dire's
BKB. He
middle
just turned
tower
right back
is under
around again.
attack.
And that's a dead
Dire's
Mickey. And he's
middle
coming back
tower
up again for
has
round
fallen.
2. That was the Aegis. Another stun, but doesn't seem to matter. They can't seem to get these kills any longer.
Dire's
Chris Left runs right
structures
over
are
Insania. Insania buying back. Not very happy about this. Also, the Xerion comes in through from Schofield. The taunt as well. Hector is just still hitting
Dire's
buildings.
middle
Got
barracks
absolutely no
has
mana
fallen.
left, but he doesn't care because all he wants to do is hit. Look at these machines everywhere. The jumps right back in again, finds himself a quick pick on Mickey. No buyback now on this Tiny. As they're just running into the base, they won't stop.
Dire's top tower is
Boxy's
under
not
attack.
even there. He doesn't have a
Grabe
creep.
naman yun.
So he's just like, I'm farming back, guys. I have no ultimate. What am I supposed to do? GG's
get
have
dropped.
been called. And I gotta say, my apologies.
Boom
Beastcoast,
plan
loyal
slam.
fans and
Radiant
viewers. I did not think that this squad had it in them to come back from such a deficit, but they actually just made it look easy. Like one fight in the base, and suddenly it was all Beastcoast all the time. They grab the momentum. They're still down in kills. Doesn't even matter. It feels like ever since that initial engagement in their base, it was just all Beastcoast all the time.
Yeah, you know, they definitely.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
The Earth Spirit Witch Doctor, but like the fact that when Liquid shows right, so picking a Tusk, like if there was more laning pressure from the enemy 4, then you might go, okay, maybe I can't pick a Tusk, I need to mirror that, so like both our safe lanes are being like hampered. But the fact that Liquid shows Earth Spirit, that is why Beastcoast have confidence in just kind of revealing a double support duo, unless they're going to be quirky, maybe run the Tusk in a different role. But
Mid-Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
Mid-Tusk.
Dire team back.
Offlane Tusk.
Oh, there's so many. I'm just remembering pubs where they do that, and it's like it's cool for like 12 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to go for 10 even. You know, I think 12 is quite generous. All right, so we got Team banned out. Void Spirit still picked up by Team Liquid. Void Spirit, of course, one of the more successful heroes that we've seen so far in this tournament, and we have also seen it be, I believe, successful yesterday in the hands of Boxy, because they do play that on the offlane. So this could be your offlane with the Earth Spirit and the Void Spirit right there.
Yeah, honestly, wouldn't mind this because, like, again, the weakness of picking double support is that you show your ability to gank on the map instantly, right? So now if Liquid just pick 2 to 3 lanes where their cores have some ability of escaping that aggression, these supports going to feel very lost on the map. And we saw that as well today from Beastcoast. I think it was game 2, where their support duo is like a silencer plus something, and they're trying to run around the map without stuns and they can't kill anything. And it's like the same concept here, where Void Spirit can easily dodge this aggression. Now imagine if you pick like a Quap or some Razor style mid lane, now these heroes can only play into one lane. It's really easy for Liquid to kind of dictate where the fights will occur.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the primary weaknesses of picking Tusk this early. It's just that there's a large array of heroes in this patch, I think, like even more than last patch, that will thrive against Tusk's usual ability to kill. So all of the spirits with some sort of escape. You have a hero like Slark making a comeback. You have other mobile cores, like I think Morphling still, for example, will do completely fine. I also think Tusk is bad against Zoo. Like, what's he supposed to do when there's just an army of units running at him? You just instantly die.
You hold your snowball for as long as possible, and then like, oh well.
You create a wall with the ice shards and hope they can't find their way around it. Like, I don't know. It's a bit.
Extra shard. It's extra ice wall. It's longer.
That's true.
That's like an extra 0.2 for like to get in.
That is true. So yeah, I like this from Liquid. I'm not sure if you're opening yourself up to being exposed or being exploited a little bit from the fact that you have these 2 heroes that are kind of similar in style, Earth Spirit and Void Spirit, both very mobility based, but these first 2 from Beastcoast don't deal with them. So what's the like? I'm thinking Silencer, honestly, for Beastcoast as an option somewhere down the line, just to enable their Tusk and Witch Doctor to find these kills and these heroes. But you can itemize Yules against it, you can itemize BKB against it.
I'd argue, like, the way that Silencer was played this morning, I actually enjoy it being on like either team, right? Like the idea that Beastcoast wants to look for kills. How many times did we see them like run up into these areas, Global comes down, and they're just kind of like awkwardly just now standing there, right? It's the same idea for Liquid, where if you have the Global and then elusive cores, Beastcoast, they're not going to get any kills early on, and that kind of stints their ability to really play the early game. But again, that's a very kind of flavor hero, and I don't know if Liquid's kind of subscribed to that idea yet, because I think it was PSG and Beastcoast were the 2 really primary teams with that so far.
I think Puck could be good for Beastcoast. I think it enables Tusk and Witch Doctor both to land their stuff when they're coiled. The downside for Puck is the Earth Spirit matchup can be a bit tricky, the silence, but I think the hero is good against Void Spirit as well. And you have to, in Beastcoast's position here, being, or rather being second pick, you have the luxury of showing later on which lanes heroes go to. So if you pick the Puck, it could still have technically been off lane. Could even have been, I guess it can't be 4 with these other 2 shown, so maybe you've cornered yourself a little bit there. Gonna grab the Underlord, looking a little bit like they are taking the ball approach here.
Okay.
And it's going to be taken away, so they just like, oh, you guys want to group up? Well, then we'll play Sven on it.
I kind of wanted to see an Undying. When I saw Underlord, I was like, oh, this could be a fun Undying game.
So yeah, Undying could have been good for Liquid as well.
Yeah, but either way, they go for Omni Sven, which is coming back in Resurgence.
5 seconds
the fact
remaining.
that you just throw the status boost on Sven and you just run them over. And he's tanky enough to not really care too much about Tusk, of course. He enables everyone else to not care about Tusk. And in regards to like the lane, Underlord pushes it out and then Sven just pushes it back, and then he can also just run away to the jungle. So
Firestorm is pretty decent against a Sven with Heavenly Grace, though. Being percentage-based damage, it can hit really hard if they can somehow contain the Sven in an area. The problem is, again, BKB kind of just removes Beastcoast's current lineup entirely. So I see 2 different paths here. One is is that you commit so much to playing late game that you think you can find a carry that can win against this late and use your stall with your Underlord defending towers, or you double down on playing fast and aggressive early and you pick a carry like Juggernaut, or you
just
pick
go like a Razor for Beastcoast?
Or Razor, yeah, something that very quickly wants to fight and is online and does well in lane, so that you can dictate the tempo while Sven is inevitably going to go off in the jungle to farm. The problem is, whatever hero you find also needs to be able to fight Earth Spirit, Void Spirit, Omni. And that is not an easy task here. I don't think there is like just a standout obvious pick here for Beastcoast. So
Maybe turn to ban.
Faceless Void.
it's gonna tell which like this pick determines their macro strategy, whether it's slow or fast.
Okay.
That's slow. They're gonna play a long game.
Yeah, I was thinking of Void, but then I was like, I don't think it's going to be too strong, just because of the idea of like the early fight, right? Like your Chrono, it needs to net that kill with the Witch Doctor, maybe a Firestorm on top. But if you don't get it, then Team Liquid can just ramp it up a bit more.
Remaining.
The question is if you can farm enough, because I don't see Beastcoast's lineup finding enough kills in this game to really like, get a significant advantage. I think they're going to be playing from evenly or behind.
They just need that mid, right? That that Quap, that Lena style hero.
Quap would be nice here. I actually really like Queen.
And they should probably ban Lesh as well, right? Like you don't want to have Liquid to have Lesh, Omni Sven, all of it together, then running over the. Because like Liquid needs that tower damage hero to play with the Earth Spirit, to play with the Omni while Sven farms, right? Like you need a way to pressure the objectives. Even like a like a Pugna on Liquid as well could be kind of like a spicier pick.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
Trying to think of other obvious Void combos that have a lot of damage, like Snapfire comes to mind, but I don't know if mid-snap is good this patch, and I think she suffers against
Bring back the Sinker.
She suffers against the Spirits because they can too easily get on top of her and cancel her ult, which is what you want in the Chrono. So I don't think they're going to go that route. There's Lena, I think, is still in the pool.
Correct.
But she also dislikes the Spirits. Old Tinker.
10 seconds remaining.
What else is there? It's a little bit hard without seeing the
5
entire hero
seconds
roster.
remaining.
They have removed the Queen of Pain. We saw Chris Luck playing that earlier. That would have been nice, but
yeah, for sure.
Here you go, Sin, mate. Okay,
The Razor might still not be that bad. I'm thinking that could be a possibility.
I mean, the Witch Doctor does a lot of damage through in the Chrono. Place ward on the side.
I don't know if Beastcoast player, but I also wouldn't mind like a Pangolier style actually. Just
mid Viper.
Ooh, just a casual Viper? Yeah.
Delay the game, can defend the towers together with Underlord, range damage in Chrono, good lane matchup against Void Spirit, ulti against Sven. I think there's a lot of good things speaking for Viper here. Zeus, but he dies to the Spirits. I think it's
10
a
seconds
bit too tricky.
remaining.
I think Viper is my favorite so far.
I guess the flip side as well is like Magnus is not touched in this game, and like the idea of delaying the game, you just pick a casual mid mag. You don't care about Void Spirit mid. Of course, that's most likely off lane, and then you just farm for the Void. But again, Liquid has to pick that hero first. So everything we're discussing right now is like that is after they see the final hero of Liquid. That's when they unflex this pick.
And is the Pucknut still on the table as well? Or do we feel like it wouldn't fit anymore?
For Liquid?
No, for Beastcoast.
Again, there's like
Beastcoast could technically play it, but I think the Spirit matchups, it's another hero. Pugna is very dependent on distance.
No, Puck.
Oh, Puck, sorry.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned him earlier for Beastcoast,
yeah,
right?
the Puck damage build has been nerfed, right? I'm a little bit worried they can't kill enough in Chrono. That's why I'm leaning toward the Viper. I think it just has more damage and it's more reliable damage. But Puck is okay. Invoker, perhaps?
Ooh.
Could be a thing. The Tornado is actually crazy good this game. It removes GA, it slows down the Sven in his tracks, it's good against the Spirit Brothers. EMP really sucks to get hit by it as these mana intensive. Actually, EMP is great against the entire So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think a Quaswex Invoker that transitions into Exort for later would actually be awesome. Oh, they did pick the Pugna.
Totally meant the Pugna.
I finally did it, guys. I finally called a hero.
Okay, I think
my mom's so proud.
I'm gonna say Invoker or Viper are probably the two best for different reasons. Invoker got worse because of Pugna, but I still think it's playable here.
In regards to the game, of course, Pugna hates playing against like Ember and like these type of on top of you heroes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Have like 20 seconds.
Quaswex Invoker that goes into Exort will secure
But does Invoker enjoy playing into Pugna though?
No, it's rough.
Yeah, just go like BKB.
You can go BKB eventually, and it's a matter of can you defend and delay the tower pushes enough that you reach a late game where you're stronger than Sven. That's kind of what this Underlord Void is telling me, is that we're gonna try to beat you late.
Okay, they go for the puck.
Go for the puck. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm pretty convinced I don't like this more than the Invoker and Viper, but It's possible that the other approach might have been too greedy or weak.
It's a mid Underlord.
Against the mid Void Spirit as well. So they put the Pugner into offlane, so pretty much completely dismantling the idea of where their cores traditionally will go for both teams, honestly.
And this means Puck gets a matchup likely against Sven Omni. And Puck will be playing together with Tusk, I would imagine.
That's going to be an annoying lane, right? Like a Tusk plus Puck style lane, just kind of flicking you down.
It's pretty good. I don't know though. I'm a little bit worried with this Puck pick that unless this Underlord does something crazy and unexpected for me, like scales incredibly well somehow, I don't know if they have enough damage in the chrono to really deal with Liquid's pressure. I like them more this game than in the last based on draft, I think.
I'm just a little concerned with how Liquid played their kind of aggressive style lineup. And I think this has the same recipe of like Void being in the distance, farming away, Puck coils and centralizes the initial engagement, and then Void just kind of waddles in, chronos, haha, and then like takes top net worth, and the game's so hard, right? So
yeah,
I think Liquid really need to kind of pick it up this game because they are under like the pressure of eventually Beastcoast just kind of coming as the titans of the later portion of the game.
All right, so a lot of pressure on Team Liquid for this one. Let's see if they can pull out a win and tie the series, or perhaps Beastcoast will take this one 2-0. We're finding out together with Moxie and Kyle.
Well, it seems like Beastcoast is really exploring this new patch with a couple new ideas. We're going to see a mid Underlord. What do you think about that, Kyle?
I actually love it, this game. And there's a bunch of reasons why the Underlord aura is not just damage, it's base damage reduction. So incredibly good against a hero like Sven, because that also will negate the bonus damage you would get from the strength from, say, Heavenly Grace. In addition, because you're mid in a favorable matchup against Void Spirit, you're going to get a ton of levels. So you won't sacrifice points in pit where you're cute to have aura maxed out early on. And in addition, you've got really good team fight now with the chrono, with the coil. It just feels like this Underlord now suddenly can be the ultimate tower defender and just probably my favorite tanky boy to be played with a Faceless Void because of the additional damage you can get with your Firestorm and Chrono.
Now my question is, how likely are we going to see this new ability that they've added for Underlord?
Ah, yes, the Fiend's Gate.
30 seconds to battle.
I don't know. It's so expensive. I'm sure it's something that you could pick up, you know, like 4th item, 5th item. It's interesting. But I don't think it's really game-breaking until like the incredibly late portions of the game.
Until the mobility of getting from one place to another is very important. But they will land a stun over your own Chris Luck. Just blink away, and he has lost a decent amount of damage. Stinger also joining in. They have to be careful. They have to separate now from this cast. You don't want too many bounces. Uh-oh, Mickey. He is getting body blocked here, and the tag team, Chris Luck, is going to start off his lane very happy.
And the positivity continues with the tips. Very nice. And the pool tango, perfect. So you can get the super tree for free. And mid lane, Schofield won't get the D ward. There was none placed by Liquid, but either way, very happy with this is Beastcoast. I expect their lanes to do quite nicely. Really like playing Puck against Sven to get level 2, good phase shift. You really never should get stunned. It's one of the easier spells to juke, so I like that they put the Underlord mid for this reason as well, because he wouldn't really do so hot against Omni Sven. They're just going to farm with cleave and trade effectively.
Makes sense. And this is something, you know, it's a throwback here to Whisper, you know, typically tends to play things that are a little bit different, stuff that you tend to see mid, and he's usually very slippery. So having him on a Puck will be very interesting to watch. It'll be a harken back to the old days, maybe if you go all the way back to when he played on Infamous once upon a time.
Indeed. And yeah, I mean, I would agree with Since, like, I think that the Whisper Tinker was cute, but I think they won in spite of him. You know, it's like, oh, he's got March, but then you look at Chris like, wait, he's 1-8. Like, I don't know if this is really worth waiting for. And I'd like that he's just on this pretty standard Puck hero. He's gonna put in work, I am sure. And Liquid, don't count them out. They got the double Spirit opener, but it's definitely going to be a challenging game for them. They need a lot of work done by Taiga and Koifa to find kills across the map.
In all fairness, I don't think Whisper envisioned that lane going so poorly for him, but Liquid, of course, were very prepared and ready to take advantage of every time that Schofield was in that.
That was the one thing my brother, it was his biggest pet peeve. And like, I could hear the disappointment sometimes. He'd be like, all right, Kyle, I'm going to go stack, or I'm going to go check the rune, I'm going to go gank mid. I'll be right back.
Don't die.
Don't, and then I would die.
It sounds like a mom leaving her child alone at home for the very first time. Just like, all right, sweetie, I put the snacks over in the fridge. Don't touch the oven. Don't stick your finger in the electrical socket. Just please be alive by the time I come home from this 15-minute drive that I have to do. And then somehow, you know, you manage to fall down the stairs and break your neck.
Yeah, that reminds me, as we're paused, we have time for this anecdote. I was sitting on the couch one day. I have 4 younger brothers. Just watching TV, and my youngest brother comes in. He says, Kyle, there's fog in the kitchen.
Uh-oh.
There's no fog. It's a sunny day. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, Gavin. Wait a couple of seconds. I'm like, I should investigate. And I go in, and of course, my brother has preheated the oven without checking. There's 2 pizza boxes inside. It's billowing smoke. Start screaming for my mother.
No.
All's well. No damage done, but yeah. Fun times back in the day as we get back into the game.
Indeed, we do, and I expect to see a lot of really nice plays coming up from Tiger. He's an excellent Earth Spirit. They have a lot of really nice players on both of these teams. Schofield, though, bottom lane, is going to just try to man up, fight Mickey here. He's taking a decent chunk of damage. Just have to be careful. Insania is chasing him down. It's not quite fast enough, though, to get the final hit off over on Sco. So he'll be able to heal back up again. You can see that taunt coming out. That's a great taunt, by the way.
One of them. I'm surprised Insania didn't start with an Orb of Venom. That's a kill if he has one. I see a lot of other Omni Knights grabbing that, then bringing the stick late.
Perhaps he was worried about just the amount of harass that's going to be coming out and thought that would be a better choice.
Yeah.
I wonder if they think more in terms of, you know, defensive than necessarily offensive right now. Trying to just ensure that Mickey has a good start.
Yeah, speaking of start, mid lane, Schofield trying to deny a rune. Man, Koiva would have loved to bottle that, but a nice job from Chris Luck to pursue him to ensure he didn't get the free refill. Meanwhile, Tusk
He gets his own free refill down.
Exactly. Really nice control by Beastcoast.
You know, that's a big thing in America that they don't have other places, is the free refill. And they are, you know, they're enjoying America right now. So
people, it blows their mind. You go 7-Eleven, it's like, wait, a big gulp is $1.29, and it's 64 ounces, which in European units is like a gallon.
It's how we keep our girlish American figure.
Yeah. No, it's like more. I'm pretty sure it's like 2 liters. It's like $1. Oh, very bad. Don't go there, folks. Anyway, Whisper is suffering a little bit, only 7-0, equaling the denies of Mickey. And the lane doesn't get easier. Yeah, he won't die, but it's tough to CS when you're left alone. Schofield now has stacked, and will attend him again in the lane. But so far, Liquid ahead in all 3.
The armor
Start off here, although those shards coming in, they'll turn right back around. Zania is sitting a little low, but of course the damage coming out from Mickey does leave some room to be desired. They don't want to necessarily chase after this guy right now, so.
It's actually Mickey who bought the Orb of Venom, so I see Insania and Mickey dual queue all the time. I always ask to join, and Aiden just says, oh, sorry, Kyle, if there were 3 of us, we'd never get a game. I'm sure that's the reason, and they obviously have experience because they're innovating just a little bit in the starting items, or the follow-up items, I suppose.
You can tell they've got the synergy. They've decided exactly how they want to play it.
Sven, your dedication
they've been playing together for
us.
like 8 years. So.
I know, that is one thing that I really love about the Liquid crew, is that this gang has stuck together, good times, bad times, even before this. And that is always really nice to see. Same thing coming out now with, you know, Beastcoast. This is Deal. Gonna just dodge away. Nicely played here by Koiva. But, you know, it's nice to see, because especially SA, and now we're seeing a lot with the Eastern Europe region, they shuffle a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I feel like you unlock the best potential out of people when you stick around, when you grow together. And I think that's very important.
I would agree. And I think if you look around at roster changes, there's very few that I would say you can point to and say that they worked, right? When you think of the famous ones, you know, notably Matu,
Radiant's
out
middle
of,
tower
then
is under
Liquid,
attack.
now Team Nigma.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oof, last hit coming in. Very nicely done. I thought Sko was going to make one of his legendary getaways again, but nope, Boxy keeping his eyes on the prize here. And Chris Luck getting some massive farming efficiency as he farms the enemy safe lane camp over here. Not safe lane, but small camp.
VP, probably the most famous example.
Yes, the coddle. Oh my word. Especially.
Dyer's
actually, I actually really like the Orb of Venom on Sven in this spot because Puck's very low armor. Sure, he'll juke the stun, but you can stick to him and force defensive orbs if you're able to just get in range. So really nice there. And Chris Luck, first time I've ever seen a mid Underlord, doing pretty well, just constantly shoving the wave. It'll be interesting to see how he itemizes trying to defend these towers early on. I would expect just a hood, but we shall see.
I think the last time I saw a mid Underlord was Bryle, like a year ago, honestly. Roll in, nice play here coming out from Taiga. I said you should watch out for this guy. And indeed, just enabling Koifa here in the mid lane to get a nice pick off.
Yeah, really nice job.
That is the problem with Underlord. He does not have an escape route, at least not one that's quick enough to deal with something like that.
Yeah, a bit of a miscue though by Chris Luck. He was half HP just standing on enemy high ground, and you know, the patented maneuver as a mid player, you hit level 6 and immediately get aggressive.
Double damage. He's gonna be happy about that.
Oh yeah, the dream for any Void Spirit.
This cracks me up with Hector up here, and of course, you know, you've got the Pugna, and I always joke, again, if Hector can't hit, Hector can't play the game, and he's just constantly decrepified. Which is a good way to kind of slow down that the damage. Oh, we see a courier here, not gonna be able to quite finish that, but you know what, he can finish off, he can finish off Schofield in the bottom lane. Look at this, Mickey also just kind of following that orb, hoping that perhaps he can get his hands on Whisper, but not yet. Not this time.
Yeah, I'm so not a fan of the Witch Doctor, Moxie. It's one of those heroes that just hasn't felt strong for some time. Theoretically, it's a good laner, like that's why you pick it, but you can see up top, it's even with Taiga roaming, they can't land kills on Boxy, and especially going this heal build, yeah, you help your core sustain, but like that's it, and one cask is certainly not going to help find any kills.
I did get a little bit of a buff. It's a balance basically, right? Creep damage was rescaled, and then the hero damage was also, but it also deals more damage per each bounce. So like, you got a little mini buff here. It depends on the situation. I still think, honestly, I've had a lot of people tell me that they feel very comfortable playing this hero currently in this patch, but it's early days. Still on the hunt for like that perfect support.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yep. You start the game with 3 mangoes. First items you buy 3 more mangoes, and you go 3-1-1. Because the Q change means you have basically a Malefice from Enigma level of disable, and a ton of damage out. But Whisper gets the coil.
Dream coil. Ophil trying to break some ankles here. The snap does come out. Are they going to be able to finish off Insania here? The dodge around. Yes, Whisper finding a kill, and Schofield getting that legendary escape again. I know Bane's also like look very, very good too, but
don't tell anybody.
Well, you know, it's funny because South America loves Bane, and I have not seen any Bane yet.
The problem is you just can't do creeps, so it's just not fun to play.
Ooh, Taiga almost able to finish off Stinger. The Chronosphere gets used. Koifa, though, drawing him in there with the Remnant. It's going to be enough to save boxes. Looking pretty darn good. Hector backing off. Chris Luck, he wants this kill. Does have to be careful, though. He's ticking down a bit because you do have Insane. You do have Koifa. Stinger trying to stay over here on the side. Doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of mana. Doesn't have to do the restoration, but Chris Luck, he is going to die here. And Koifa really would love this kill. Stinger with the Buddha restoration. That's not going to be enough, my friend. You are going to have to make Koifa take a lot of this tower damage. He walks right into it. A little bit of a juke. No, eventually. Walks right into it.
Yeah, talk about runes. DD at 6, and now an arcane rune. It is absolutely a dream start for Koifa. Now he just needs to create like some kind of arcane ring to drop from the creep wave. Whisper gets some space bot, but I don't know. This is again looking rough for Beastcoast, although I will not count them out.
Learn my lesson. Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sizable lead to feel confident. I'd say they actually need mega creeps before I'm going to be confident calling them for a W with Moxie. That's some trouble.
Yep, Whisper makes this rotation. Top do have that Dream Coil, though. The snap over on the Insania. Boxy turning back around. It's a blind string. It's enough. It takes down Hector. Now Whisper forced to turn back around. Get a point of running into the fight. It's a double kill.
Radiant
Very well
structures
played
are
here.
fortified.
As
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That is
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll show you.
Yeah, I like this build on Boxy too. You see a lot of Pugnas go straight for arcanes, but this is actually something old school. If you ever watch replays TI8, the Seb Pugna, always getting treads on the offlane. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, Chris Luck.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, as we watch the replay, they did kill Taiga for free, but I think you take that trade.
Dire's top tower
because it was
is under
the two
attack.
for the top there.
Yeah, and he survives because of that extra HP. Now, of course, likely going to go back for Aether Lens, the staple on any Pugna. Could also go for Yules. You see that's what Koifa's queued up. You really need it against all the silence, but specifically to remove the time dilation. That spell is just awful to deal with. Nice snowball, but I think they're going to catch it.
They know exactly where he's headed over here, but so is Chris Luck. He's got a haste boost, Stingers here, Whispers here as well. They need to go and lock down Koifa long enough as they go with the Walrus Punch. Need a little bit more damage. They over here in the corner, Chris Luck just coming on in.
Radiant's courier has been
coming out from behind. Koifa's courier goes down. That's the Guardian Angel coming out long enough so that way they can keep him alive, and he's able to run away. But Chris Luck hot in pursuit. They have the snowball. Can they get there fast with the pogo stick coming out as well? There's the heads with the little piggy, but in this time it's not going to save him. As now they have another cast, they have another way to cancel out the TP. It's a triple kill now for Chris Luck.
And it's a stack. How did that happen? Team Liquid, they're just so low on resources. Felt like a repeat of that last game. Koifa just out of mana. If he has mana there, they're going to turn that around. Maybe they're able to fight, but you know, Voyage is farming the whole time. K1 nowhere near. Mickey, of course, getting work done on the bottom lane as well, but still a big loss there for Liquid. That whole lead they gained is now gone.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's almost like a little bit of a turnaround from game number 1. Remember when Beastcoast was playing, they had these nice stacks, Liquid invaded, and they were able to steal it all away and get multiple kills. And
really cool. Chris Luck, he went for the Atos. That was another item that got a little bit of a buff in the previous patch. An extra 4 intelligence and an extra 2 strength and agility with no other changes. So
that's nice.
Part of the issue with the item is like the active is nice, but it's expensive for the recipe. And there were just better, more value items. So now they're just like, you know, everybody wants stats. We'll give you more stats with your stats, and we'll see how that pays off. Easy sell for the pit.
Silence gonna try to just dodge away. Doesn't manage to do it. Taiga though nearby. They still have their eyes over here on Stinger. He's got the Voodoo Restoration up as he's running. There's a double damage. Chris Luck showing up. The snap over here on the Dream Coil. I don't think they were quite expecting that. They get the root off, but Chris Lucky's got to run away faster now. So throw out the stone, the magnetize is doing a lot. They throw out the Atos. They want to ensure that they can get this kill over on Taiga's Insania over on the back lines. But they do manage to take down Chris Luck. And somehow, where did Hector go down here?
What?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mid. Looks like Koifa and Mickey just combined for the 1-2 punch. Yeah, 100 to 0.
I think you're pretty happy about that if you're Liquid. You lose some of those supports there, but
Dire's structures are fortified.
He's level 7.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's the problem when you don't have a built-in cleave.
Yeah. This is I learned my lesson. I think it was Charlie DOTA. He was playing a game together against a Slark. Avoid kind of the same problems, but he picked Sven into it. I see it as not exactly a counter, and he said pretty much, I'll have 3 items before he has 2. And yeah, we ended up winning the game. So Mickey looking to do the same thing here. He will finish up the Sanj. Now going to grab his stack. And yeah, this is a big problem. You know, we talk about K1 Hector. He's a farmer, but no built-in farming mechanics. You can see that that is an abysmally low neutral and ancient score with, what is that? Like, that's 2 camps. And without a Maelstrom, it's not like it'll hurry up, and you can see queued up the Midas. I don't mind that in this position. You already feel so far behind. You need the XP boost to go along with the bonus gold.
I mean, it's also difficult when you consider the fact they don't have any sort of steroid for this Faceless Void. Typically, when you see unit Faceless Void, you're usually having some sort of steroid in terms of, like, you know, an Invoker throwing out an Alacrity. Sometimes you can see an Ogre with Bloodlust. Not recently, though. We've only seen one Ogre recently. It did not do particularly well. And, you know, or who am I thinking? There's one other person.
Elder Titan?
No, I mean, Elder Titan is great. That is another steroid. There's another, like, movement.
Magnus.
Magnus. No, that's a movement, but yes, Magnus with the Empower. Perfect. You know, so it is definitely more of a struggle for him to keep up with the farming rate coming out from Mickey here.
Value all the way back to the...
I just heard Fog saying, cash money.
I miss Fogged.
I did too. Hope he's well. I like his cat. He's got a very cute hat. Alito.
He does.
All right, we are unpausing. we are watching Stinger die.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Doesn't manage to get the cask off though. Perhaps I can turn this back around. Schofield joining in with the Chronosphere here. K1 Hector, he wants this kill for himself. Whisper gonna help out a little bit, ends up being the one who takes it.
Worth the chrono, get a core kill. Whisper does take the bonus gold as you stated. I'm sure Hector would have liked that. Help him with his mic.
I don't think Tiger was expecting them to come around and swing from that side here as they follow up with the shards. Purification does buy a bit more time for him though, so he's able to run away, and Koifa dropping the remnant. Also, a little insurance policy here.
I have bunting for you.
Yeah, they do a nice job on Liquid though. I mean, controlling the triangle, getting stacks up where they
Radiant's
can.
bottom
Tower's still
tower
alive.
is under attack.
Initiation overall to Chris Lock. Does have a haste rune though, second time around. Just gonna go hide in the tree line and disappear. Schofield pointing out that Mickey is indeed over here farming the jungle. Stinger making his way over. They have the A-Toes. Chris Lock holding in place, followed up with plenty of damage, especially coming out from Witch Doctor. And in fact, that Maledict is going to be the reason that they're able to get this kill. Chris Lock, he's very, very fast, but you know what? They have a Yules. That's gonna make him slow down considerably as they get the life drain off. Follow up here though, K1 Hector to let it in. They get the Dream Coil off over on the side. They're going to Guardian Angel buying them just enough time. But they'll hold Koifa in place. They just have too much damage now. Insania left behind. K1 Hector, he wants that kill. Whisper jumping forward here. They're also going to chase after Mr. Taiga and his 5 heroes. A nice body block coming into play. This is not looking good for the Earth Spirit as he is going to take the next fall. And only Boxy currently alive. Oh, they get the cask off. Can they get over there fast enough? The shards can pushes them out off to the side. So looks like Boxy is going to survive.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pressure on the mid tower.
Liquid, they just have this habit, like to get these leads, and then they slowly but surely manage to hand them back. That's twice now. You know, credit to Beastcoast, that great ward on the high ground did spot Mickey farming, but you know, you lose your Sven, you don't have to save a buddy. He's already dead. You're committing more resources, you lose more heroes, and Chris Luck, even without any sort of resistance, right? No hood, no vanguard, no nothing. He's still incredibly durable with just phase boots and Atos. And so much plus damage. He currently has 178 extra. Like, he's hitting real hard. Koifa got just smacked in the face. As Liquid, once again, they smoke. They want to get aggressive, but do be careful.
The Nether.
They don't have very good vision right now, which is a bit of the dodgy thing about this. You can see they're hoping that, you know, Hector, he likes to farm. Perhaps Hector is over here in this area, but he's not. And again, it's always Schofield, always Sco, who ends up being the one to break the smoke, take the gank.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Die.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He did his job.
That's exactly it, though. No, agreed. Bottom lane.
They have Chrono and Witchblade. This is very dangerous for Liquid.
I don't think they realize the rest of the team is behind him. Not everyone, obviously. Look, he just stands there. Like, hey, guys. Hey.
Hello?
Hey. Whisper getting into position here.
Radiant's bottom
Gets
tower
the
is
waiting
under
room.
attack.
And that ring coil off. It's not looking good. They still managed to get the kill. They're going to try to put some more damage on. They cancel out the TP over here. And they'll take down Whisper. A Stinger also to fall. Chris Luck is here, but man, he cannot catch a break. He is definitely going down as they just brutally
Dire's
beat him
bottom
up.
tower is under attack. Dire's
Schofield
bottom
too.
tower
He's trying to
has
hide
fallen.
over here on the tree line. Maybe they won't find me. Maybe
Radiant
I'll walk right
are
into
scanning.
Boxy. Boxy is more than happy to see him. Let's go for the snowball play here again, but they have the stuff, they have the damage, and that's another kill here for Koifa.
This is like
Dire's
taking
structures
turns,
are
Boxing, with
fortified.
these weird engagements.
Dire's
I
bottom
love
tower
that
is under
idea
attack.
from Hector. Stand there, maybe break the smoke, maybe look to set up a kill, but he should just be behind the trees. And again, well done by Liquid though. It's this time their turn. You see the ward they had in the lane. That gives you more vision than heroes during nighttime. So they see the void the entire time and set up for the 100-0, whereas Hector is just kind of clueless and ends up getting caught. So really nice job there. What was that, a 5-0? Not bad. And again,
They're going back in again with the light. It's just so much damage. They blow up Hector before he can do anything. Chris Luck joining in though. You see he was trying to set up. They do have the Atos. Rolling over, Whisper sidestepping. That Heavenly Grace online, but over on the other side here, Schofield's so far forward for the rest of the team. He's not looking healthy here at all as he's just going to get blown up by Boxy. Tiger just casually dewarding, rolling on out. It's a good feeling when you know you can do something like that.
Boxing
the orb.
slaughtering people right now.
They found themselves a Whisper, and he is locked down.
Yeah, I mean, Boxy's just straight up putting the team on his back right now. Koiva doing work as well, but these decreps, the blasts, the Void Spirit damage, it's just, it's way too much.
It is indeed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Look at Pugna. Look at all the items that he's got in his stash right now.
Bounty.
That feels good. Force staff and third of a BKB. Once again, I say I love the build. The treads, look at the HP. You typically see Pugna's real squishy, but on strength treads, near 1600 health. It's very nice. Like, the treads are wide, he goes top to turn around that double kill, and then now they're just...
Ooh, they're hunting again. They found Chris Luck. They get the toss up over here onto Whisper. And it's just going to be a dead Chris Luck. He can't get away fast enough. He doesn't have any way to escape.
He also definitely regrets not having a hood after a couple of these injuries. I actually think he could have gone for a move slide.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Schofield again is going to try to buy some more time. Try to do a little something here, but is going to run into the other three here on the side of Liquid, and is going
Radiant
to
structures
definitely
are
fall.
fortified.
And how long has Chrono been available for K1? This poor Void. Also doing something, I saw a guide, and I also saw a lot of Nico Baby games. Did watch the replay. Never does he go the Yasha, especially in a game like this. The Sange for the status resistance and a little bit of HP. It's his survival that's a problem right now, and he went for that greedier accelerator, but the trouble is, anytime he's caught by this Koifa Void Spirit and Boxy's nearby, he's just dead. So I'd love to see them try to find a way to get aggressive, but it's so tough. Liquid doing a great job sweeping the map. Now they're the ones with the vision up. Look at that. One in the enemy base, one behind the tier 2 top, another one on the outpost. And, oh, look.
Oh, but the stun comes out from Mickey. He's already... Okay, he's going to have to go for the Chronosphere to run out. Whisper going to give a couple pokes here. The rest of the team is shooting up, but now they just don't have... Oh, Whisper is just silent. He's stunned. He's dead. Tiger rolling in, does find himself Schofield and Sting out, but I don't think he's too concerned. I think he's just providing the vision right now for the rest of the team as they go down right into the woods. And that's another kill from Mickey.
Okay. Chris Luck, he'll have the BKB soon, then he can look to get aggressive. He should at least be able to survive the Pugna, but I see you shaking your head. I think even
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Pugna is like ripping him apart. It's like he can't get anything done.
Time is money.
Got the fairy grenade on here for Sven.
This is just like
Dyer's middle tower is under
Whisper,
attack.
like, you have no Chrono.
Radiant's bottom
Chris
tower
Luck
is under attack.
Is not there.
It's a little
there's no way you're going to be able to turn this around. You saw
Oh dear. All right, well, let's go. Dory's looking for an opening here. Does not have the Chronosphere though. I'm a little surprised that he's dodging in the way he is. We'll try to cancel out here over onto Tiger. Perhaps they can get a kill. It's looking very good right now. So
I have seen the future.
Able to collect the kill on the Earth Spirit.
Did get the ult before dying, didn't lose any gold. Nice, but you can see the respect Liquid are giving to this new BKB.
Mickey just running on in here. Trying to get a couple pokes here. Nice last coming out from Whisper. He's gonna have to dodge away almost immediately. Gets the leash off.
Dyer's middle
Over
tower is under
Koifa
attack.
and Boxy.
They're just trying to see if they can poke a little bit, get the BKB charge. Mickey did not have ulti, will have it up now. But yeah, a BKB usage, any sort of pick off, and theoretically Liquid could walk right into Roche. They have great vision to control the area.
I mean, you're not super concerned at what Beastcoast has currently. A lot of things are on cooldown. Another taunt over here on Chris Luck. This man cannot catch a break. Does have his teammates nearby though, so can get healed up by Sko.
You can see Liquid a little more cautious, you know, the patience this game. They are picking up and learning as the series goes along. They're just trying to proc this BKB. If you commit too hard, then you're suddenly all pitted, you're coiled, time dilation, and right now you've got a nice lead. They're really not concerned. They're not on a clock. Your Sven is certainly out farming the enemy Void. Here we go again.
We just saw this happen. This has been plenty of lockdown for Chris Luck. The force step though is going to be able to give him a little bit more time. He's got the A-plus, but the stone coming in from Taiga will find the kill as Stinger's courier falls. We're in quite a few things. Big chops coming out from Mickey.
Radiant's bottom tower
He takes
is
out
under
Stinger.
attack.
And this is a
Dyer's
danger
middle
with
tower is under
BKB. If
attack.
you go for raw resistance, you're just tanky. Whereas in this case, he's like, do I BKB? Do I not BKB? He ends up trying to save it
Dyer's
because if you use it and
structures
die,
are
then you just feel bad.
Dyer's middle
In
tower
this case,
is under
okay,
attack.
he's the one to initiate. They
Radiant's
don't
bottom tower is under attack.
Rolls right on down. Hello, Schofield, and goodbye, Schofield.
A lot of
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
respect the liquid patience. Oh, Stinger, that cleave damage. Oh goodness.
Definitely hurts. And here, Chris Luck thinks maybe I can get
Radiant's
away, but of course,
bottom
Tyga,
tower
always
has
ready.
fallen.
Always a killer. And Whisper
Dyer's
also
middle tower
falls
is
down
under
in the
attack.
bottom lane. They're just falling like dominoes. They're trying to make space. They need to have this happen, but they're just too prepared on the side of Liquid.
He got the tier 2. They won't be able to control the outpost, but it is a nice influx of gold.
Whatever you can, because, you know, Ektor's farm is not Ektor levels like we usually see.
No. I like this from Liquid as well. Just BKB's coming up next. They're going to have one complete on the Pugna. You really can't kill him anymore once he collects it. 2,000 health. Void's damage is not really there. They attempt to claim the high ground and are once again pushed back as Theoden and the rest of Team Liquid defend what they now claim as their Helm's Deep. And now, yeah, just walk right into the Roche Pit. Aeon Disc on the Omni Knight, that's his defensive item secured.
I was like, where is Theoden coming from? What are you talking about? The Helm's Deep did help clue me in finally, but not sure that's the exact same situation here.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, they really can't do anything right now. Mickey is just going to be allowed to smack around their shot. Going to be able to get themselves a nice Aegis.
Okay, but Moxie.
Radiant
Let's say you're the coach of Beastcoast.
I am the coach of Beastcoast.
What do you do?
I was going to say, Schofield needs to make some of those legendary plays where he makes them run all over the map.
Roshan
And
has
give
fallen
Hector
to the
enough
ring.
time to farm here. And he should probably pair up. Alright, 1 second here as they do find Whisper. Just gonna get silenced, of course, with that Aghanim Scepter on Void Spirit. And now Stinger, again, he just wants to deward his jungle. He just wants his home back. They're not gonna let him get Snowball. Coming in, and you know, here we go. Here's Sko. He's trying to make room, but of course, Mickey eyes on the prize does find himself Chris Luck. Ato's coming into play, but he's got the BKB. BKB over onto Chris Luck too. But if he can get his hands on him, as they do fall off the side here, Luke goes with Chris Luck. They're just crumbling
Dyer's
like
middle
dominoes
tower
right
is
now.
under attack.
He's not ready to fight.
They're one by one, Moxie.
It is not what you want to do. And look at this damage coming up from Mickey. The BKB is nice. You're not going to get knocked down while it's up, but I don't think this is the play, sir.
I see a little bit of laughter from the side of Beastcoast on their cameras. They are definitely feeling the pain right now.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
A hero dies in a side lane, they're like, all right, guys, we have some space. But you really don't, because Liquid's just so far ahead. As Ektor, I mean, still without the Sanj, the poor man would love the status resist, but just needed the BKB. It is a tough game for Beastcoast. Now when Assault Cuirass finished, top 3 net worth all on the side of Liquid. It is a slaughter. But Beastcoast are not out. One big chrono in the Firestorm. Maybe they can turn things around. I mean, gonna get caught.
I might be able to put a little bit of damage over into Saga. They have to be careful because Mickey, right nearby here, throws out the stun, focusing over onto Schofield. The snowball comes out, though, is going to immediately dance around to the other side. Point for the fight to kill on Whisper right off the back. Stinger also going to fall. And now K1 Ektor, he just doesn't have this kind of damage that he wants. He's going to try to make something happen, but they have the Guardian Angel. He can't do anything right now. His force to just run away, get stunned, unstunned, locked, and the life is gone.
How many consecutive kills have Liquid acquired?
Quite a few.
It's at least, I think, 14.
It has been wild. Yeah, look at this.
Okay, other than that one.
It's been quite a few.
So it's just Taiga, and it was 10 minutes ago. And I guess 6 minutes ago. Either way.
I mean, this is the Liquid you want to see. You want to see them get this advantage. You want to see them keep it.
Yes.
You want to see good items coming out from them and just smart moves around the map. And they've definitely been providing it this time around.
Yes, definitely. Like, more discipline. Like, cold water on the face, a slap
Dyer's
here and
middle
there,
tower
and
is under
focus,
attack.
patience. That's what you like to see.
Dyer's middle
Indeed,
tower
what you like to
has
see the
fallen.
A-Test coming out from Chris Luck, and Schofield over here on the low ground will take out Koifa. So they do have that going for them. It looks like Schofield is going to be forced to fall, do it patiently. Tiger cleans it up.
Snowball was no match.
There's smoke play coming out now from Beastcoast. Are they trying
They've
to
lost
Whisper?
They're backing Moxie.
They are indeed backing. There's the green coil. And Sandy is, of course, nearby. Will we get the purification? Now, Stinger forcing forward. Then a Yule's going to be able to get a bash or two off over here on the side. Taiga roll forward right into Whisper, though. He's not going to be able to go away to this high ground. They don't have anything to cancel out this teleport, though, so he's going to survive.
I respect Beastcoast well. They're still not giving up. Down 21k does not matter. They finished the kill on Koifa and chase for more. Liquid narrowly escaped without losing extras.
Dyer's bottom tower
They
is under
did
attack.
obtain a rack.
Radiant
Still have Viegas
structures are
preserved. Indeed, we
fortified.
do. We'll have it for another minute and 12, so do expect Liquid to go right back
Radiant's
to that mid lane.
middle tower is under
They got
attack.
the range, but want the melee.
Nikke making his way off to the side. They've got the Dagon and the Decrepify over here on the Pugna Tower.
Radiant's
Eventually does
middle
fall to get the
tower
root
has
off in
fallen.
place. Just kind of an insurance policy that Mickey is not going to be able to just immediately turn around and jump them. Although without the God Strength, most likely not going to. But
Yep.
I'm sure Beastcoast is feeling a little bit antsy.
It's such a great timing for Koifa.
Dyer's
All this-
bottom tower
The
is
spell
under attack.
amplification you get on a Void Spirit is just nuts. You know, 14% from the level 20 talent. You've got the Kaya for a bonus 8, soon to be more once he finishes the Sanj. Like, this is when you're huge. The double pulse, the step damage being buffed up as well is just so impactful. I think we're really going to see a lot more of this hero because it's just fun to play too, right? Like, mid players, they're fans of this. This is the kind of style they want to utilize.
Dyer are
I mean, I would
scanning.
say that's a very big buff to Quincy crew because this is like
True.
Quinn's hero. Spent for quite a while within the patch, so wouldn't be surprised to see him never get his hands on it at this
Indeed.
point. People have done their homework. Big smoke though coming out here from Liquid, looking to get the jump. Gonna be able to find Sko. Sko though, immediately snowballing. Chris Luck trying to get to a better position. The rest of the team is on their way. The top is out. They should be able to take out Schofield right off the bat. They're going to go into the back line to make sure that they have the slide, so they're not going to be able to go immediately throw off the Guardian Angel. Chris Luck though over here trying to push damage over to point, but there's the Chronosphere. They want to just get rid of this Omni Knight. They just aren't able to do it with the Guardian Angel. It's back up again. Hector forced back. Nice stun over on the high ground. Stinger running away. Schofield, he's nearby. He's trying to do whatever he can to try to keep him alive. Does have the snowball. Will turn back around. The Decrepify though comes out the chart. They turn it around. They get the kill on Schofield. Lysania though does fall in the back lines. Just cannot get
Radiant
anything.
structures are
Just
fortified.
over here on Beastcoast when Hector is handled like this, and they call the GG.
Respect. Maybe they have another fight in them, but at this point, like, you're just getting run ragged around the map. Like, Liquid are just farming you. That expression. This is what I like to see on Liquid. Yeah, you got the win, but it's serious. You're here to work,
They
not
were
play.
fighting hard and they were focused. You could tell they had engaged mode on.
Indeed, and this is, I think Insani has even said in a couple of interviews sometime they're their own worst enemies. Like, you know, credit to Beastcoast for coming back in that first.